hear so many stories like that, even from people when I'm like, oh, look what I'm doing. They're like, you're so creative. And I'm like, no, we really all are. It's a matter of finding what jives with you, what speaks to you, and getting rid of those fears and those those what's misbelief. I don't know what
misconceptions,
the term is, but
possibly.
Misconceptions. Yeah. Misconceptions that we aren't good at it, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you produce is good. What matters is that you went through the process and you felt that connection with creation and creativity. And if it sparked joy in you, to pull on another superstar right now, like if it sparked some kind of joy in you, then that's all that matters.
My third answer comes from the awesome special effects makeup artist and winner of Face Off, Sig Neutron. So happy I got him on the show and got his answer on this question.
Absolutely. I think, I've been getting into like quantum physics and stuff lately too, and like the observer effect, and basically which states that like not only are we creating the universe by observing it, but we're also actively participating in it. So we are, no matter even the way that you decide to present your avatar to the world, dress yourself, like create like your hair color, your cut, whatever style you want, you're creating you. So at the very essence and the very core of just being a human being, you are a creator. And it just depends on what you want to create. And some people create in all kinds of different ways. So yeah, everybody's a creator and everybody's creative. That's what we're here for.
And the fourth answer comes from Mig Ayesa.
We are, as kids, we are natural born artists. We paint with our poo on the walls. we act. We all have these diaphragms. We cry diaphragmatically like opera singers. It's innate in us to actually be performers. As kids, we play. Like our imagination is incredible as kids. Like we role play. We are in the schoolyard and we want to play, rock cops and robbers, all these things we're role playing. We are incredible artists as kids. It's a socialization of constantly like being told, no, you don't have time for you to grow up, time for you to grow up. I think that's in a way, okay, I'm going to be crucified for saying this, I know, but in a way, it's stifling your inner child is a form of child abuse as far as I'm concerned, because it's stopping you from developing into your full capabilities.
Right, I always ask for some advice at the end. Many of the artists have given me great advice throughout the episode, but there's final words of advice I want to get from my artists, and I have quite a few lined up here. Let's start with Ariel Hope Santarelli, pastor's daughter from my church, who is an actor, model, musician, and here's her advice.
If you want to be, an artist and pursue it professionally, that you have to be all in and you have to be committed, because if you're not committed, you won't last. And it's not for everybody. So if it's something you just want to try out, and it's something if you want to see if you want to stick with it and do, there's absolutely, a grace period for trial and error. But if you really want to go all in and, go hardcore, then you have to be willing to make those sacrifices and just do the things that are necessary to be able to be a working actor or model or musician. All of them have their different struggles, but I would say just, don't give up. If you have a dream that you want to pursue, it's never too late to pursue that dream. I don't believe that dreams have expiration dates. And there's no better time than the present to start pursuing something that you've always wanted to. So I would say that don't wait. Don't wait for someone to come to you or something to happen. Go out and pursue those opportunities and find those opportunities. Find like-minded people reach out and just put yourself out there, and you'll be surprised at, the positive feedback that you get when you just ask. By the same token, the other side of the coin is that you have to have very thick skin. It is not easy. It's a business, like I said before, full of rejection and disappointment, and ultimately sometimes heartbreak. I've had my heart broken many, many times. Whether it's an audition that you feel like you nailed and you didn't get, or, there's so many things that, you could be given a role and then for some unforeseen reason have it taken away. I've had that happen as well. And it is a heartbreaking experience, but it will ultimately make you not only a better person, but a better artist as well. And there are just, tough lessons that you have to learn, and there's nothing that can prepare you for it. You just have to experience it and draw from that experience and allow it to shape you as an artist, and don't let it make you bitter, because that's very easy. It's an easy rut to fall into, because you could have every reason in the world why, you should have gotten that role, you nailed that audition, but it just didn't happen. And, you might not know why, you might not ever find out why, but there's always a reason for everything. And I think that ultimately it's just part of God's plan. Everything that happens is for a reason. So there might be an opportunity that you feel like would be great for you in your career, but if it doesn't work out, there's something better coming down the line. So don't be discouraged by, those things you feel like you missed out on, because maybe you didn't miss out at all. Maybe that was not meant for you. It was meant for somebody else, and God has something better for you.
Next up is Sam Kimberly, a writer and blogger and jeweler who's really crushing it right now, and this is her advice.
Yes, play. Play. Don't take yourself so seriously. Really, if you think of something in your mind that you think sounds fun and it makes you inspired to want to play, whether it's paint or chalk or pastels or getting your phone out and recording yourself singing, play. Let yourself be messy and have a good time.
And why not get Rebecca Flott in here one more time with her final words of advice.
And you will never, ever can be successful if you sabotage your own self. You have to fight for you, right?
Absolutely.
Because that's your future. And guess what? We don't have a 2 life, 3 lives, 7 lives to live. We have 1 life to live. Why not to do what you love to do, right? I wanted that for my life. I am living it. But I also see so many different artists that are way more talented than myself. They know how to do faces. They know how to do animals. And they're so good with the brush. But you know what they don't do? Is to get up and go to work. So I really believe that if you get up and you go to work consistent and have an urgency, like you have a deadline to deliver the work for yourself. If you show up and show up and show up and work without anyone ever paying you, you're working, you're doing the job, things will change around, things will turn around, and you're going to see your life is going to look like. It's going to be barely recognizable.
All right, here we go with Elke Blasi's advice. This is a good one.
Well, I wish somebody would have told me this. But I did learn it from Arnold Schwarzenegger. And what he says, I will agree with 100%. Do not, and I repeat, do not have a backup plan. People are probably like, what? I'm not kidding. I know that sometimes you have to have a backup plan because you need to survive and you need to pay your bills and you want to get out of your parents' house and all that stuff while you're working on your craft. I get it. But what happens is when people get their backup plan, okay, and they focus on their backup plan because they want to make money in order to support their craft or their goals or whatever it is that they want to do, whatever it is they want to achieve. Guess what happens? That backup plan, that plan B, okay, winds up taking all of your energy and all of your focus, okay? Now all of a sudden the money is rolling in. You got your own place. That's great. Okay, now I could go out more. Now I could buy the stuff that I didn't have anymore. Now I could buy the equipment to make my movies or, work on my music or whatever it is that you're doing, okay? Now what happens? You're getting all these toys, but you don't have time to work at your craft. You don't have time to hone it. You don't have time to get better at it because plan B is taken over. All the energy that you were supposed to put in plan A, your dream, right? Your dream that you're supposed to fulfill is now in plan B. Then what comes after plan B? You're comfortable now. You're making money. Okay, so I'll get to my film one day. I'll get to my music career one day. Now you're getting married. Now you're having kids. And now you really don't have time for that. Oh, well, guess what? Now the kids are in college. And how much older are you now? And you still didn't do it. Now you're still at the beginning stages because you never honed that craft to begin with. You're still at the beginning, so it's like you're starting over again at 50 or 60, whatever. It's never too late as long as you're doing it. But what about all those years that you lost because you were focused on plan B instead of plan A? So my advice is this. If you need to make some money in order to really pursue your dreams, don't look at it as a plan B. Look at it as a side gig, bartending, waitressing. I don't care. Something that is never going to take more of your focus away than it has to. Okay? Then get back to your plan A and work on it every single day. Eat, sleep, breathe it. Never, ever lose sight of it. Never say that you're not good enough. Become good. You don't have to be the best. There are a million singers out there that are famous. I mean, they're amazing, but they aren't the best singers in the world. But they've got something. They've got something. They've got that it factor. They know how to dance on stage, or they know how to resonate with the audience on a different level. And it's not even their voice really that anybody cares about. It's who they are as a whole. So always remember, you don't have to be the best at anything. You just got to be really good and find your unique voice. And never, never lose that to focus on your plan B, because I promise you, you will never get to plan A if you're focused on plan B. And that's, my friends, that is when you feel dead inside. That is when you say, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, or, I'm not fulfilled. And next thing you know, you're in a relationship or bad relationship or whatever it is, and you're trying to fill that void because you never got to live out your dreams, or never even tried to live out your dreams. Better to be on your deathbed knowing that you tried everything and didn't succeed than to be in some other career or something like that, and to look back one day and say, I didn't try everything. Who knows where I would have been? And guess what? I just lived my life. I don't have another life after that. That's it. So that's my advice. And work your ass off. And, it doesn't, work cleverly. The amount of time is not what matters. You could practice something endlessly. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So as long as you're honing your craft correctly and you're always learning the newest things and you're staying current, which is really so important because things are always changing in the industry. Stay current, learn new things, network, all right? Network. But always, always, always make time. So it doesn't matter how many hours in the day, you just have to be productive. The amount of hours doesn't mean a thing.
And the same with Liz Acar.
For me, it was having the courage to allow myself to do the thing that felt good. And sometimes, and I say courage because if you want to go out and do photography on your own, it's sometimes it's still staying the courage to know, because there wasn't time to say yes to something you love. It's learning how to put boundaries in place that allow for that self-care and that thing that you enjoy. To do it at a higher level, I say courage because when you express yourself, you're opening yourself up for people to comment. And sometimes people have beautiful things to say, and sometimes people don't have beautiful things to say. And the reality is, it's just a different you that is stepping into that. And if that's what resonates with you and that's you,
who cares what people say? Honestly, good or bad. The good feels much better. But if you're doing